welcome to the sideboard. I'm Reuben Bresler. I'm going to give you your top 8 breakdown from Star City Games St. Louis, the Standard Open. So we've got our top 8 set: Jacob Baugh, Adam Prozac, Ryan Forsberg, Nick Marriott, Mark Castillo, Brian Humberg, Justin Uppel, and David Kuhn. The first match I'm going to take a look at is the one that I'm going to be covering on text coverage, which is David Kuhn and Justin Uppel. I'm sorry, this is going to be the video coverage one. This is the one that you guys are going to be watching at home. So we saw both of these players on camera earlier today. David Kuhn's taking up the mantle of the deck that won last week, Green-White Humans. He's got a much different list than did Brad LeBuff, who won the Standard Open in New Orleans last weekend. Brad's list was much more singleton-based, lots of high-impact singletons, like Mayor of Averbrook, which actually David has multiple of, but Odric Master Tactician, for example, whereas David has only two singletons, which are Wolfer Silverheart and Faith Shield, both cards you want to see exactly one of in a game. He's also got main deck Dryad Militants, which are a problem for Justin Uppel. Actually, these two met in the Swiss, and it was Justin's only loss. So he ran through the rest of the field. So we'll see if Justin is able to recoup that earlier loss in the top 8. He will be on the play, but he did lose to David in the Swiss. So I am not sure how this one's going to pan out. I'm going to hedge my bet and say that Justin's going to be able to come back. It's close. Certainly David has a large edge because he's got 4 Dryad Militants after board, as well as 3 Rest in Peace after sideboard. So it's close, but I think that Justin might be able to squeak it out just on the sheer power of his deck. He's also got the overrun capability with Craterhoof Behemoth, which is very important for a deck that's very aggressive, that can put a clock on you like David Kuhn's, not give them an extra turn. The next match we're going to look at is Nick Marriott and Ryan Forsberg, both big names in the Star City Games Open Series. Ryan Forsberg is on the blue-white-red mid-range thing that lots of people have been playing recently, has gained popularity, started with the Japanese. He's running 3 Thundermaw Hellkites. He also has 2 Bonfire of the Damned in his deck, which I think won't necessarily come in that handy against Nick Marriott, who is playing 4 Restoration Angel, 4 Snapcaster Mage, 4 Augur of Bolas, and then the rest are spells. That's a pretty straightforward list. He's got a Sphinx's Revelation in the main deck as well to be able to recoup some of the loss. Ryan is actually going to be on the play. This is the 4-5 matchup. So I'm going to give the slight edge to Ryan just because he can just sort of go over the top. Both players have counter spells. Both players have efficient threats. Ryan has the play, and Ryan has the slightly more aggressive deck with the burn spells. The next one we're going to look at is Mark Castillo and Brian Humberg, sorry. Mark Castillo is playing a very removal-heavy Jund list. He's got Ultimate Price and Mizium Mortars in addition to the normal elimination spells like Pillar of Flame and Dreadbore. He is also running 2 main deck Bonfire of the Damned, the first time in the new standard format that we've had multiple decks with Bonfire of the Damned in the top 8. He is also running the 4th Ragtusk for Huntmaster, and in addition, he is also running Olivia Valderon, which I think is going to be the tipping point for this match against Brian Hamburg, who's running a Bant control list that's running Angel of Serenity, Thragtusk, Restoration Angel, Centaur Healer as its creature package, all relatively slow, all very easy to steal with Olivia. He does not have a ton of ways to interact with just one creature. He's got 2 Detention Spheres and 1 Oblivion Ring, in addition to some Azorius Charms, but those aren't as good at dealing with Olivia, who can just sit on the table and take over a game by herself. I'm going to give the slight edge to Mark Castillo. He also has the play in that match, and so I think that the removal-heavy Jund is going to take that one down. The last one we have is Jacob Baugh, who's the #1 overall seed. He is on Bant control, and he's taking on Adam Prozac. Adam Prozac, before this tournament started, Zach Hall picked him to win the tournament with his deck. He drew the last round thinking that he was safe, but because of some weird pairings in the last round, the 2 20-pointers weren't paired against one another. They were paired against 19-pointers. So instead of being about 95% to make top 8, he was only closer to like 55. So it was a nice little sweat for him to see if he could make top 8. He did make top 8, and this is one of his better matchups. So even though he's on the draw, I expect Adam Prozac to win this round. So the game that you guys are going to get, you're going to get Justin Uppel and David Kuhn. See if Justin Uppel is able to recoup his loss earlier, get revenge on David Kuhn, and we're going to send it to the booth here at Star City Games St. Louis.